Hello, here's another fly I've been tying for a number of years. This one I fish on a fluting line, fish it buzzer style. This is called an olive hare's ear, basically. Okay, and I fish it buzzer style usually on a fluting line, either as a single fly, or on the point, or on a dropper. Okay, as a team of two flies. So we have a brass bead and a hook 4mm and a Camazon B175. I also tie this fly without a bead, and when I do, I use a B170, which is a light wire hook, so it goes closer into the surface film. But with a brass bead, it doesn't sink that. It sinks not as quickly as what a lot of my flies do with tungsten beads. Okay, so I'll wind some thread up the hook. This is olive thread, and just before the hook starts to bend, probably level with the barb, I stop the thread, cut off the excess, and I'm going to put a small tail on this fly, and what I use is olive hackle fibres. One of them hackles that won't quite make it to actually do a hackle. I create a little tail, put it on top of a hook, and loop, pull down so it sits on top of the hook. So there's my tail. Okay, this is a deadly fly, especially in the spring, winter, probably from February onwards, all the way through. And like I say, I fish it as part of a team usually, maybe with a black buzzer, something like that. So I've got some gold rib, just put that in the hook as well, in the vise as well, on the hook as well. There we go, and there's the gold rib. For the body of this fly, I do a mix of hare's ear and olive SLF. And I basically just loosely mix it with my hand, so every fly is different. I could just use olive SLF, but I prefer to use this mix of hare's ear and olive SLF. So I get a bit of both, and I sort of mingle the fibres together and try and give it a little mix. And this adds a little sparkle to the hare's ear and gives it the olive part of it as well. And we get a little bit more hare's ear in. There we go. So I've used a glue stick up the thread. That's all I use. I twist it on the thread. And create a loop. There we go. Then I wind that round the body of a fly to create the body of a fly. And it doesn't matter how even it is, because you can spike it out. I probably will spike it out in a minute. There we go. Now bring your rib over 3 or 4 times. And this is how I tie it. Okay, there's the rib part. And now I create a collar, and I use this Chartreuse glow floss in green, sort of Chartreuse green. Put it under the thread, a couple of turns. And this is to create a target point on the fly, and I find this really works well. There we go. Just wind the collar around the fly. Couple of turns just to trap it. Cut off the excess. Couple more turns. And then I finish all my flies the same way with 3 half hitches. There we go. Cut it. And then what you can do is just spike out some of the fibres to make them stick out a little bit. And I find this fly catches me a lot of good fish. So that is my olive hare's ear.